Today's episode is an excerpt from one of my favorite books called The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. And so this author, throughout his journey with cancer and his incredibly poetic mind and spirit, penned his life daily in a series of lessons, a series of thoughts, and essentially what is his contemplation throughout. So the page I have opened up today is very fitting in one of the lessons that I personally have experienced many a time, but more so one of the major lessons I have experienced, which has stuck with me. And in that, a few years ago now, I had suddenly experienced an unexpected health issue while on holiday, and essentially came face to face with death. And I was traveling alone at the time. And that really did pivot my life path without me realizing at the time as well. And it also influences the work that I do today in helping people to truly use whatever tragedy or unexpected crisis to turn that into their favor and silver lining, to use all of that pain and turn it into their power to better understand themselves and to better appreciate their lives from that point forward. And most importantly, to fall in love with life again, and to fall in love with what I consider to be their new and improved identity again, to self-manage, to rehabilitate, to embrace life. So this excerpt is called A String of Todays, with the tagline, "If not now, then when?" And he writes, "Since surviving cancer, there is a burning bit of truth I live with every day. Sometimes it doesn't let me sleep, but most of the time it brings me great joy. No one uttered this to me, and I didn't arrive at it or work at it. It just revealed itself the way a broken bone makes us re-feel the immense pressure of air. And this bit of truth is, if not now, then when? It really does keep coming down to this. There is no tomorrow, only a string of todays. Still, like most of us, I was somehow taught to dream forward, to fill the future with everything that matters. Someday I will be happy. When I am rich, I will be free. When I find the right person, then I will know love. I will be loving and happy and truthful and genuine then. But almost dying seared the sense of future from me. And though I expect to live a very long time, though I make plans and look forward to the many things I plan, I have no choice but to dream now. To start out as I always have, pouring the best of me into an imagined time yet to be. But then I hear, if not now, when? And the best of me floods back to the only place it truly knows. Now. How often do we all rehearse this moment, putting off love, truth, joy, and even God, citing our many yes buts to ourselves, to others, when all we have to do hard and simple as it is to drop everything and come now. So I want to ask you a question. Now, this is me talking, not the writing of Mark Nepo. I want to ask you an important question. What is it now in your life that you really want to do? What is it now that keeps playing in your mind's eye or in your heart that you want to do now, or that you have been putting off with a million steps in place until you can achieve it? Is there a logical reason why you're putting it off? Or is it conditional? I really want this, but what are the buts? I think this is very important when in rehabilitation as well. How does it apply? Because my finding is very clear. People who are not content with their lives, people who are in emotional distress as well, there are usually internal conflicts at play which go deeper than what is on the surface. So apathy, depression, anxiety, all of those things that feed into health conditions and make them worse, exacerbate them. When you dig beneath the surface, what you can find, and what you often find, as I have found in the work that I do, is that there is a discrepancy between the ideal and the current. What I wish to live like, what I wish to achieve, what I wish to do, what I wish to say, how I wish to be versus how I currently am, what I'm currently saying, what I'm currently doing, where I currently find myself in different areas of life. The larger the discrepancy between the current and the ideal, the expectation of self, the greater the discontentment, the apathy, depression, anxiety. When you can close this gap, you will find that not only do those conditions process, but they release more readily and they recover more quickly. So one thing that I learned personally after this, what was right up there with one of the most difficult points in my life, after this, what I consider a giant turning point in my life, this health condition, which I self-managed and recovered independently from. After that, in that moment in time, I recall being in the hospital with all types of beeping machines and contraptions attached to me. And I knew that what only mattered and what only matters is the now. Do I have regrets? How do I wish to live? What am I doing with my life? Who am I truly? Is it in alignment with how I am living? Is my spirit in alignment with how I am living? How do I want to contribute to every single moment in time from here on in? Am I at peace, spiritually at peace? What would this look like? All of these questions, and I could go on. I could fill a book with these questions and this experience. However, I also didn't know the pain that was ahead of me as well. I also had no idea how difficult the climb would be out of that place. And the silver lining to that is that I am, in fact, all the better for it in character, in physiology, in life. And that is the silver lining of the cloud, the storm cloud. So when I work with people in incredible distress, I understand that the moment in time, the storm cloud surrounding you is only transitionary. And the key is to enable people to understand that it is transitionary. And if you can somehow make it across to the next stepping stone every single moment in time, from now to now to now, every single moment in time, then eventually you will make it to the other side. Not only will you be intact, but perhaps to your ears miraculously, to mine expectedly, you will actually be all the better for it following the journey. Now, this is feedback that I receive all of the time from people that I work with. Only a couple of weeks ago, one of my clients, you will know who you are if you're listening. In tears, he said, "I am a better man now, and I would never have thought I could possibly say such a thing. I am so grateful for my life and everything within it. I am a better man, 100% now after this incredibly painful experience of having this health condition, which I thought would completely destroy me. And now he has overcome it, and he is what I see as a shooting star. He has not only embodied joy again, but he's truly shining and fully embracing every day he has ahead of him. And this happens, again, I will reiterate, all of the time. And this is what I am delivering today. It is 100% possible to turn your pain into your power. We don't know why the roll of the dice happens the way that it does. Sometimes things are a mystery, and sometimes they are a partial mystery, not fully, partially, and sometimes they're not a mystery at all. I know that with my health condition years ago, it was a pure mystery. And again, when you don't have all of the answers, it can become much more difficult because the mind only likes to play with facts and logic, and it will work endlessly to zone in on the detail and find the answers it is seeking. It's a never-ending story. So what I want to say is that the mind will always search for answers. It will spiritually beat you down until you find those answers. And that is the fine line here, because not everything has a clear-cut answer. And sometimes the answer is to work with what you have, to process it, to build strength of character, to create resilience within yourself, to develop a greater sense of hope and faith in yourself, in life, and to appreciate the simpler things, to appreciate the simplest and the greatest things, to appreciate even just breathing. And there are lessons within every experience in life which are unique to the individual. They are unique because everyone perceives things very differently. That's not to say that it is not difficult. Of course it is. You will experience a huge range of emotions, the worst kind and the best kind follow a little later on, once you have processed it all and built that internal strength and have learned to stoke the inner flame of your own spirit. It's difficult to do it on your own. There are people to help you along the way. But do take it from myself that it is indeed possible. And certainly take it from my patients that it is indeed possible. So with this message, I hope that you have contemplated your own life, your own experience, and perhaps let it sink in a little over the next couple of days and see how you feel. See how you perceive my message today. Does it resonate at all? If so, where? What areas of your life have you been delaying that you could in fact do right now? Where are the discrepancies? What is the hold up? Are they excuses or legitimate reasons? Or is it just simply shrouded in a whole lot of pain and fear? Ask yourself the hard questions. And when you are honest with yourself, then you will also free yourself.